Alright guys, welcome back from spring break. I'm doing a video. A number of people asked me to do a video of these dog leash problems. So I'm going to do this one where the dog leash is inside a garage, or attached to the garage, I should say. And so in this problem, we've got a garage at Juan's house is outlined by a polygon B, C, D, E, F, G, and the adjacent yard is fenced along segments A, B, and AF. So basically, we have a fence, which I want to put in a different color, right here and right here. So this is kind of the house with a yard, a fenced yard, okay, that we're looking at right here. And so the dog is attached at point H, and it says H is 12 feet from point B on segment GB. So here's point H where the dog is leashed, and it said, and that's 12 feet from point B. And it says the leash itself is 15 feet long. So remember, one thing I want you guys to understand, and I'll just show you kind of on a different sheet of paper, that if you leash a dog at this point, and let's say the leash is 12 feet long, the dog will be able to run in a circle, a radius of 12 feet. That's a bad circle, but y'all get the point. If we had a 5-foot leash, let's say it was here, the dog would be able to run in a circle, a radius 5 feet. So this whole space inside the circle would be the area that the dog could cover. So that's really what we're applying when we do these problems. So since the leash is 15 feet long, let's just say in this direction, the dog will be able to go 15 feet out. And then the dog won't be able to go any further. So, the problem is, though, the dog won't be able to come inside the garage. So, the concept is the same, but here, the dog is leashed here at point H on the outside of the garage. And this whole area here is actually the inside of the garage. Okay? But same idea applies. If the dog is on a 15-foot leash, the dog, if this is 12 feet, and let's figure out what this side is. If this is 20, this part is 9, okay, because this whole thing was 29. And if this is 22 and the whole side is 40, this must be 18. So basically, we know the dog can run all through the fenced area. So one area that we're going to have to account for when we're looking at our areas that the dog would be able to cover would be area 1, which is a rectangle. So we got a rectangular area that is 9 by 18 that we know the dog can cover. So that's area 1. Now, in the problem, it says that the leash is 15 feet and that there is a small door for Ginger to go inside the garage at point G. So at point G, which is right here, which is actually 6 feet, 6 feet from the 12-foot side, so we got 12 and 6 makes this whole side 18. So from H to G is 6 feet. The dog can run inside the garage. So we know the leash is 15 feet. So if the dog has used up 6 feet before he gets in the garage, and then once he's inside the garage, he would have a 9-foot leash that he could run on. Okay, so we know the dog will be able to run in a 9-foot radius all the way through there and all the way down here. So the dog would be able to cover, I'm going to call that area 2, a 3/4 circle that's a radius equal to 9 feet. So all of this area in here. Once the dog gets through the door, the dog will be able to run 9 feet in this direction and 9 feet around. So it'll be a 3/4 circle that the dog will be able to run. Now, it also says that the dog can go outside because he dug a hole under the fence at point B. So this section from point H to B is 12 feet. And we know the dog can run under the leash and then can run 3 feet out, right? Why? Because 12 plus 3 is 15. So the dog can do this outside. The dog can run 3 feet all around this area before he hits the fence again. So area 3 is a half circle with a radius of 3 feet. Okay? So let's just kind of walk through our logic one more time. The dog is here at H on a 15-foot leash. Okay? The dog is tied to the outside of the garage. So he can definitely cover this whole area 1, this rectangle outside. Then we know the dog can go inside the garage at point G. And so from point H to point G must be 6 feet because this whole side is 18 and this portion is 12. So once the dog gets inside, since it's a 15-foot leash in total, the dog can run a 9-foot radius inside. Dog can't cover a whole circle. Why? Because the dog runs into the walls of the garage. So that's a 3/4 circle with a radius at 9 feet. Then in area 3, we've got this portion where the dog runs 12 feet in this direction. Remember, the dog's running along the garage. And then he dug a hole through point B and he goes outside. So the length of the leash when he gets outside that fence is going to be 3 feet because 12 plus 3 is 15 and that's that 3-foot area. So this whole area that the dog could cover would be 3 feet. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shade in green also. Or, let's see, I think I'll use yellow because to distinguish it from the yard outside. But really, we're talking about this whole area, the rectangular area, and this area here as the areas that the dog can cover or run on that 15-foot leash based on the story or the word problem that was given to us. Okay, so now we're ready to do our calculation. So for the rectangle, we've got a rectangle that's a 9 by 18. So we know the dog will be able to run 162 square feet. Okay, then we've got a circle that's 9 foot in radius, but it's just a 3/4 circle. So it's going to be 3/4 of pi 9 squared, which we know will be 81 pi. Okay, so 3/4 of 81 pi. So let's see how far that is. About 191 if I'm estimating it. So 191 square feet, or I should say rounding. Okay? And then we've got this third area here, which is a half circle that's a radius of 3. So 1/2, and this is a radius of 3, so it'll be 9 pi. And so that's going to be 14.3. So now if I total those up, 162. So I'll highlight the values we're looking at. We got 162. Okay, 191. And we've got 14.3. Or we could just round to 14. So 162 plus 191 plus 14 gives us a area of 367 square feet that the dog would be able to run in. Okay, I hope that helps you understand. If you're still having trouble understanding these kinds of problems, just plan to come in to tutorials and we can walk through some together. Hope y'all enjoy the break. I'll say that once again and see you tomorrow.